to the History of Football channel. Today I'll just be doing a review of the match which was finished between Everton and Manchester United. Manchester United win 3-0 at Goodison Park. As we all know, Everton got the 10-point deduction by the Premier League. It's the biggest ever point deduction in Premier League history. There were a lot going into this game, lots of talk from the players, lots of talk by the manager. Going into the game, there were a chance that we could win, maybe get a point or something like that. With this match, before kick-off, there were a lot of noise, there were a lot of fireworks, there were all kinds of stuff going on. But in the second or third minute, the entire atmosphere in the ground was just killed when Garnacho pulls that goal from out of his ass, does that bicycle kick. I bet you he never scores a goal like that for the rest of his career again. And it's probably one of the best overkick goals you'll ever see in your life, and that makes it 1-0. And then from there, it was just like the atmosphere in Goodison Park just went, just like a fucking lead balloon, just went all downhill. With this team, with this Everton team, especially in the last couple of years when we've been down the bottom there, struggling to stay up, is that this team is a confidence team, and it's very rare that if we concede a goal that we actually come back and win a game or even get a point, because a lot of the players that we have, we just don't have the bottle, we don't have the stomach, we don't have the testicular fortitude, which is a word that I like to use. Our squads just don't have that. We got no fight. So when it went 1-0 to Manchester United, I went, this is not good at all. And from there, the first 20 minutes or so, it took us about 20 to 25 minutes to actually get into the game. And it worked until, I'd say, about the 30th minute. There was a spell between the 30th minute and probably maybe the 40th minute where all our best chances come from. We should have scored at least one of those. There was a really good chance from Decore, missed it. There was a couple of other chances, Calvert-Lewin heading it straight at Onana. There was one which kind of summed up the day where Onana kind of parried it, and it was that 18-year-old from Manchester United. It was his second ever game in the Premier League. He showed more hunger and desire to get to that ball and clear it than one of our players did to kick it in. And there was a really good chance for Idrissa Gana Gueye to score a goal, but he kicks it in the row Z of the Sir Philip Carter stand. And you know, with these Premier League footballers, it doesn't really make sense. They're training every day, they're practicing every day, and yet they're kicking the ball in the fucking row Z when they've got a chance on goal. I mean, when I played, I never did that, and I was never a professional, so it just beggars belief how some players can sky the ball. Second half, it was more of the same. We went back into our shell. Manchester United were controlling the game. I thought that besides that 10-minute period in the first half, that Everton offered absolutely fucking nothing. The second goal came where initially it were meant to be just a foul because the referee said that Martial dived, and then obviously with this VAR stuff now, the referee pretty much doesn't control the game. Everything's decided through them, so it became a penalty to Manchester United, which Rashford scored. After that, I think in the second half we only really had one good opportunity to get a goal, and that was with Idrissa Gana Gueye. This time he connected the ball, and Andre Onana, who's normally a calamity in the goal, as someone said in the comment section on Instagram, he turned into prime Neuer for Bayern Munich. For some reason, when he played against us, he magically becomes this really good goalkeeper who was saving all types of shots. And then the third goal, it just come, I think, from a pass by Fernandes. He caught the two centre halves napping there, and Martial scores, and I guarantee you Martial, he won't probably score for the next 2 fucking months. He always seems to score against us, but I guarantee you he probably won't score for another 2 months after this. So the final score ends 3-0 to Manchester United. This Everton team today, all talk before the game, all talk from the manager, and they did fucking nothing, fuck all. There's no desire in this team, there's no heart. This Manchester United team, they actually played like they got the 10-point deduction. It was us that were sort of in the top half of the table. They're the ones that showed the fight, they're the ones that had a game plan. We offered absolutely nothing. There was no desire, especially when I go back to that second goal where that 18-year-old from Manchester United, he showed more intent to get to the ball and get it away than when our players scored. And you know, it's the worst possible case scenario for this club, especially with the likes of yesterday Luton getting a result, and with Burnley playing decent yesterday, I think it's given teams that were below us a shot in the arm, like Bournemouth and all them, Nottingham Forest, to start to get points. And we had to win today. We really had to win today, and we didn't even score a foot off topic there just for a moment. Now, this might be a surprise to some people, but this is not the first club I've supported that's had a points deduction. There's a team I follow in the Rugby League. This was back in 2016. You can Google it yourself, you can read it. It were Parramatta Eels 2016 salary cap scandal. Now, the points deduction which happened to them was a bit different to this one, but in that case as well, there'd been other teams that had done similar things and they got no points deduction, but Parramatta ended up getting the points deduction. And we were a similar type of scenario where there was all this talk from the manager, from the players, oh, we're going to go out there next game, we're going to win, we're going to go out fighting. And that first game that they come back, they lost that game, and then from there everything just went like a lead balloon. They got a couple of wins throughout the year, but it totally derailed their season. Before the salary cap scandal, they were coming third. After the points deduction, they were second last, and I think they ended up coming fourth or fifth from the bottom. So I see very similar scenarios between Everton and Parramatta when it comes to this point deduction. If we would have won today, it would have given the team a confidence boost, a shot in the arm. It would have given the fans something to believe in. But after this, I mean, you may as well just relegate. Anything in this squad today or from any of the players that gives me any hope of us staying up. Next we play Nottingham Forest away from home, and I mean, they've had some troubles, but they're tough to beat at home. They're a good team at home usually. And then we've got to play Newcastle. We're not going to get any points from that. Then we've got to play Chelsea. Not going to get any points on that. And I think we also play Manchester City coming up, so not going to get any points there. And just to touch on the refereeing as well, yes, we lost 3-0. Yeah, we got outplayed. But there were some decisions there where you were scratching your fucking head and you're going, what? Like, there was a foul for us, and the referee said foul, Everton play on, whatever, and then Ganacho kicks the ball away and there's no card for him, and then Decore goes up there and says blah whatever, you fucking, and the referee gave him a yellow card, and I'm thinking, what the fuck's going on here, like? And then there was also a tackle that Scott McTominay did, which were late, no card. Fernandez did a tackle that were late, no card. There was a couple of other times that they would foul our players, nothing. But all the cards and all the decisions seemed to be going against us. And in some ways I knew this was going to happen, because before this investigation thing really ramped up, I thought to myself, we'll get a transfer ban, we'll probably get a massive fine, but we won't get a points deduction. And then as this season began and we started to play good and not awful like we usually are, I went, we'll get a fucking points deduction now, you watch, and it'll probably be a massive one. And that's what's happened. I know we've survived relegation before, but this is totally different, and I think this is just going to be a bridge too far for the club, and we just don't have the players, we don't have the squad, we don't have the bottle to overcome something like this, and this is going to really fuck the club up, especially when they do eventually go down. It's really going to put the club in a very precarious position. In some ways I think that the Premier League's using us as an example. And also they see us as a bit of a soft touch with the likes of Manchester City and Chelsea. They know that they've got the best lawyers in the world, they've got the best legal advice that money can buy. They'll find a way to get out of it, but with us, we're in a different boat, and it's going to be very tough for us to even potentially get a points reduction somehow. The only way that I see us staying up this year is if the FA and the Commission magically decide to finally investigate the Manchester City thing in full and give them a punishment, or if they punish Chelsea somehow. But yeah, I just don't think that we've got enough to see. The other thing that I found really disappointing were the crowd at Goodison Park today. Very flat, very quiet. The Manchester United supporters outsung them for pretty much the entire game. Once again, when the second goal went in, a lot of people were leaving, going home early. That's something that I'd never do as a supporter. Very disappointing to see, but In the end, Manchester United 3, Everton 0. I'm disappointed, I'm embarrassed, I'm fucking pissed off. I'm a lot of emotions at the moment, but just very disappointing all round. But thanks to everyone that's watched this review, and I'll catch us all later in the next one. Alright, ta-ra for now.